will be recorded. Great, thank you. And it'll be made available to you and all other interested delegate candidates as well. So this committee was appointed by the previous international chair for the duration of our party's primaries process. And this committee consists of, you can see the committee members here. My name is Robin Emerson. We have two other committee members here with me. Maybe they can invite them to say hello. Marnie?
Hello, it's nice to have people here. It's all becoming real.
Okay, great. Thank you. And Emily?
Hi, everybody. Greetings from Berlin.
Okay, great. Wonderful. Thank you very much. And so the other members here that are not here at this session, but they all today, we've been holding 3 sessions like this today in different regions. And so they are doing those different presentations. So that's Sam, Edgar, Suma, and of course, Martha, and I believe another officio is here with us. Steve, are you there?
I am Robin, and thank you very much, and welcome to everybody today. Thank you for attending.
So becoming a delegate, what does it entail? Anything new, any particular? Let's go over that and have it be plain and clear. That's the intention of this session today, to give the information about that process and take any questions that you may have about that process. So here we go. So I believe why we have this in here, and you might, some of you that are already members of Democrats Abroad, you might be wondering, why is this on here? Well, because you are American voter, we have intentionally reached out beyond just our roles and to ask people, if you've voted, here's your opportunity, and voted with us. And so this is information about, many of us already know about Democrats Abroad, but we do want to, we'll say more about the net casting, why that's important. So what does a delegate do? So a delegate, you will go and you will have an opportunity. There'll be a place, and I'm actually getting excited because I've been to a couple of conventions and I have represented, and you go and you actually have the opportunity to show off who we are to the Democratic Party. It makes such a big difference for them to send in ballots. They're actually human beings from around the world who are American voters that are there, that are expressing your views. You're giving the energy, you're giving input, you're showing diversity of Americans that are living abroad. And the occasion calls for it. You'll speak to the media, and you'll make certain that the 2024 message that we craft as Americans abroad, that it's conveyed to as many media reps as possible. And so we are actually, you're going there on behalf, you're taking all of us there with you, and you're there representing Americans abroad. And so that message is, Americans abroad can vote from abroad. Our votes count. And if you are an American abroad, here's how you can get to vote also. So go to votefromabroad.org and request your ballot now. And that's, really the exciting part is you get to go be that representative. And the road to that can be quite exciting, as well as the convention itself. So what does a delegate do? So there are, there are meetings that are a whole schedule of meetings that are taking place during that time. You will be actively participating in the convention itself, looking to see where it's appropriate with you and the other delegates. You may come up with a strategy for who to go to what meetings, who to meet whom. It's extremely exciting and exhilarating. And you get to go and meet a lot of people. You actually get to, again, represent Democrats abroad, and you're speaking the word, spreading the word about Democrats abroad, and you bring in your candidates' values and interests to the convention. So here's a point that if your candidate is not the eventual nominee, you'll begin to work with the other, come together to support the nominee that's moving forward towards the general election. So it does call for, there's a lot of skills building and gathering that you get to gather in leadership and negotiating, in the relationship building as a delegate. And then you'll return home and you'll use that, again, delegate experience to help elect our nominee to the White House. So the delegate selection, being a delegate actually there at the convention, it's just these are just steps on the road to that ultimate goal of electing our nominee to the White House. So keep in mind, these are just a summary of the cost of being a delegate. There are actual costs of your airfare, average rate of the hotels, you have your food and incidentals, transport you could add in there. But keep in mind at many events, there will be, because they're hosting, you'll have delegation for the OWLS delegation, and they'll be hosting a talk, and you'll go in, again, there'll be a reception. Many of these interest groups and so forth are hosting free receptions that do have free food and beverage. And so you can, inside of that socialization, you can reduce some of the out-of-pocket food cost. And some of our delegates in the past have even used a crowdfunding so that you actually are gathering people that want to support you. If you're the one that's going there, that will support you and you're going, so that it's actually, the whole intention is that we have that diversity and that representation, and we want to get behind and remove the hindrances for that. And so there are many opportunities and creative ways for you to do that, and you'll have the support of many of us from Democrats Abroad in what you put as a call to action. So you can attend the regional and the global conventions online or in person for the global convention in Costa Rica. So you don't need to attend an in-person to run, but it doesn't hurt to be there and to be present and to mingle, right? There are things that do happen outside of the Zoom rooms, but it's not a requirement for you to run. And so what happens at the regional conventions is you have the regional electors, and so they'll use ranked choice voting, as you can see there, and they'll also elect 3 regional DNC members, okay? So that's the regional conventions. And then there's the global convention. Those global electors are gonna also use ranked choice to elect 3 at-large delegates. This is when we're together in Costa Rica. And those global electors will elect 3 global DNC members. And Democrats Abroad is going to also discuss, and we're going to adopt our Democrats Abroad platform as well at the global convention. So Democrats Abroad is going to offer 2 $500 grants to candidates to attend this global convention. And these are going to be awarded by an application process. So be on the lookout for that, and details are going to be provided later. And so just be on the lookout for that information about grants to our global convention. So the elections. So these are the people that you can reach out to ahead of time to get to know them and to campaign. Okay, being a delegate it does take, enrolling, inspiring people, exciting people about why you are a good choice at the convention. So electors for a regional convention, they might include the regional vice chair representing that region, or all elected country committee officers and DPC voting representatives, elected or recognized chapter chairs of each country committee. So that's who these electors may be. And then electors for the global convention, those might be regionally elected delegates to the 2024 National Convention, some current automatic delegates, newly elected automatic delegates, DPC members, distinguished party leaders designated by the secretary to the DNC. So you want to reach out to your local country committee if you have one, and you want to let them know your interest. there's no harm in letting them know early, as soon as possible, and often as possible. Reach out to those electors as well to introduce yourself. So a list is going to be of approved electors is going to be likely be made available to you so that you can aid you in making that contact directly. So our DPC, Delegates Election Plan, it has all these full details. Now I am supposed to be dropping something in the chat, but I can't do that in this. Can I ask one of my colleagues to put the DSP plan in the chat?
Yes, happy to do that.
Great, thank you, Emily. Okay, so the road to the convention. All right, so, and we could have put a big tick mark by the first one there. The GPP, that was the first stop on this road, and we've cleared that. And so the next steps is next week, the delegates election forms are going to be available from March 26th. And then that will be open, and that deadline will be is on April the 19th. So you have a little bit less than a month for people to make those applications. Then there's that the credentials and rules committees are confirmed. Then you can see the series of regional conventions that happen, and then our global convention, where there'll be the delegate election as well. And then we're just right on to the road for the convention, which is happening in August 19th to the 22nd. Let me see here. So, excuse me. So Asia Pacific and EMEA, both of those are going to be held online. The Americas regional meeting and the global meeting are going to both be hybrid. And so, yes, you know, like the Americas will ride on the global convention. And so that is the road to the convention. So here's a little bit about the our delegates. So I think last week we received the verified results from our international chair on the 19th. Representative Phillips, he didn't make the Democrats Abroad ballot. And we did, because we didn't receive enough signatures to make it on our ballot. So candidates must earn at least 15% of the primary vote in order to be allocated delegates. And so according to that and our GPP results, Biden will receive all of Democrats Abroad's delegates, totaling 13. So that's the number of delegates we're looking to send to the convention. Second. Okay, great. Just want to make certain I didn't miss anything. Okay. So again, so this committee that we're on, so we are members from across the globe, and again we were appointed by the previous international chair, and we have a task of encouraging all Democrats Abroad members, especially those from historically disadvantaged groups, to participate in this process. So our primary goal is to strive for Democrats Abroad's delegation to the 2024 DNC convention is that it accurately reflects the diversity of Democrats Abroad. That's our one job, and we are totally committed to it and need your partnership to help us achieve that. So our roles, we've created this DSP. I believe that has already previously been shared, and please review it so that you can read it for yourself. We are advocating for the engagement of a broad and diverse membership. So that's why we are reaching out to as many American groups as possible. We are letting, wherever American voters are gathering and where they can be found, we want them to know about this opportunity as American voters, and if they voted with us, contribute to the development of an affirmative action goals. We keep our eye on that, and we are continue to give feedback on that, and ensure that the outreach, again, is throughout membership and beyond. And so again, if you're on a country committee and you're not on a country committee, we ask for your partnership to help us do that. Please even ask your country committee, hey, what are we doing? How are we reaching out? And even for yourself, we really do need some assistance to cast this net as wide as possible. And then as well as monitor the accessibility of the processed materials. And so with that, that is our job. Those are our roles and responsibilities. And we welcome your feedback on how we're doing with that. All right, so our works thus far, just to summarize where we've reached. So we have finalized that delegate representation goal. So we've looked at the voter data from the Democratic electorate across the US. And then we've conducted a diversity survey. Some of you may have participated in that, so that we could better learn where we needed to engage and where we needed to connect better. And so that final report will be presented to the Global Executive Committee. And we've also worked with comms team to diversify the messaging so that it can be accessible and reach, again, those goals that we have. So this is what we came up as our representation goals. So we trying our best, right? And so some people may fill multiple categories. And so Democrats Abroad has determined that the demographic composition of the underrepresented groups in the Democrats Abroad Democratic electorate is consistent with the demographic composition of the Democratic Party support across the nationwide Democratic electorate. Okay, so we're saying that we pretty much mirror it. And so these are the numbers that were approved by the voting body of elected Democrats Abroad's officials and the DNC Rules and Bylaws committees. So you can see them here. Okay, African Americans for that. This is our goal. Hispanics, Hispanic Americans, Native Americans, Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders, Arab Americans, LGBTQ plus Americans, Americans with disabilities, Youth 6, Veterans and Military Families 1, and non-country committee residents 2. So that is the spread and the representation of our goals. Chicago, here we come. For a breakdown of the delegation, 8 automatic delegates. This includes the international chair and vice chair of Democrats Abroad, plus 6 current DNC members. So with that, there's 13 elected delegates. So 1 is a party leader or elected official. So that's a delegate who's going to be elected at the global convention. 12 at-large delegates will be elected during the DA regional and global conventions this year. 9 will be elected at the 3 regional conventions, and 3 will be elected at the global convention. So 1 alternate per presidential candidate will be there with delegate representation, okay? All righty. So just want to let you know that you can run both at the regional and at the global level simultaneously. So if you are reelected at the regional, you can drop out of the global. Okay. So this is just a sense of what it is to be there, be it with all the excitement, meet some of our party leaders, represent Democrats Abroad. This is some of our members that have been there in the crowd representing. And then when they say Democrats Abroad, what's your count? What are your votes and your numbers? You get the chance to represent us proudly at that convention. So again, this is a summary of our role and what this committee is up to. So all voting members have been and will be continuously reminded of our goals. We have a commitment to keep this present before the DPC. Sorry, I get those acronyms mixed up sometimes. So that's our job, to keep that present in front of them and you, and so that it stays there and you're reminded of that. And during the convention, we're going to regularly update the voters on where we stand with our goals as votes are processed. Okay. So if you don't identify as one of the highlighted underrepresented groups, this is not going to impair you or bar you from running. Don't think that, oh, I didn't see myself up there. That's not what it's intended for. So again, this could be you. So Democrats Abroad sends each campaign their list of delegate candidates who have filed by April 19th. The campaigns then must run a list of approved delegate candidates for each position a week later by April 26th. So if you are included on your campaign list, Democrats Abroad will notify you within 48 hours, and then it's onwards to the conventions, off at the races. So then, so here's what this takes, okay? And if I can invite Emily to post I think there's a GPP delegate information link, if you can post that in there for me. So again, the delegate forms become available this week on the 26th. Please apply and start to campaign right away. You know, let's have this Democratic DNC convention be our most diverse convention, a delegation that we send yet. We can accomplish that. And so more delegate information, it can be found on the website. And so also there's a link that will be there where you can also find this additional information. So what do we need from you? Please do keep in mind that your country committee is to, like I said earlier, it's their job also as our partners, as subscribing to this, is that they also spread the word wide on this delegate selection process. So if you identify with any Democratic American member or non-member, please share this information. So that's with any American Democratic American you come in contact with. We need your assistance to say, hey, here's an opportunity for you. You want to consider this? Take a peek at it. Our goal is to reach as many people outside of our membership. So share it with them. Share it with any groups. We know that there are a lot of clusters and so forth of American voters that are clustering based on interest, location, some of the places where we might not be inside of, and we need you to be our eyes and ears to be able to spread this word out to them. So we're hosting these information sessions, but we just invite you to partner with us to spread the word. So I want to now take a moment and just pause and open the floor to any questions that you might have.
Carrie had a question that a minute ago. She said, isn't it a done deal that Biden is the nominee?
Is it a done deal? I don't really think I can ask who wants to respond to that. I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm.
Well, I don't think you're done.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a done deal until all of the delegates come and say yes. The other thing is that there's so much other stuff going on. There's the platform and there's, all sorts of networking and future plans being made. There's so many other reasons to be there. So it doesn't have to be a total surprise who the candidate is, but it sure feels good to, be part of the decision.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Quaid has a question.
Okay, great.
Hi, Quaid from Germany. I have a quick question about the allocation of the regional delegates. Has that been decided? Do you know how many delegates for each of the regions there will be?
I believe was it 9?
I can.
Oh yeah, please go ahead, Steve.
Sorry, Robin, I didn't get to type up the hand up. Those allocations will be announced with the certified results on the 25th. Does that answer your question, Quaid?
Perfect.
Okay,
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Great, thank you. Who's next?
Carrie has another question or two. And then Peter.
Okay, I've unmuted myself. Hi, thanks for doing this educational platform here. What does it mean to campaign? I'm not quite, I feel like This is the second session I've sat in on, and I still feel really bewildered about the whole process. One,
Yeah.
who is it that's voting for us? The people, it wasn't clear on what you
Okay.
just said. And then I'll ask my next question when you answer that.
Okay, let me come back. So we talked about electors. While I look for that slide. I can show that again. Here it is. And I ask my colleagues also to jump in if there's anything, any other better way to make this clearer. Can you see this? I think it's Kari.
Mhm, mhm.
Are you able to see the slide about electors?
Yeah, we see that.
You all see. Okay.
Yes, but
Oh.
okay, so
Yeah, so let's just break it down and look to see. So again, so first I guess the part about the campaigning is these people, you want them to, so as we identify reconfirm or who these electors are, right? There will be several people after we get the numbers from the 25th. There'll be several people in your region who will be interested in running. So you will be speaking to these electors. As we mentioned, a list will be available to kind of, to campaign and say, well, why should I go? Why should I be the one to go and represent Democrats abroad?
so you call them on
Why?
the phone or you email them, or how does this?
Yeah.
And then
Sorry, go ahead, Carrie.
their contact information is made available to all of us?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I think there's probably going to be postings also online where people, is that true, Yael? Where people can see your bio or your statement. So that's a good way. I'm sorry, the dogs.
So somebody, the first meeting I attended, somebody said, oh, you should make a website. And I'm like, okay, who's going to see it? I mean, these 10 people, I mean, it seems like, I don't know that that's the most effective thing to do. I think maybe personal
Yeah.
contact.
So here's the thing, there's no requirements on how to do it. It's right, it's completely what this is an opportunity to play, to get to meet a lot of people, to bring your creativity, to look at other ways to get to know others in Democrats abroad. So there's not like a one right way on how to do it. It's a fun way. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say that people have done everything from making campaign posters to just, making sure that they got in touch with the electors and let them know. There are no rules, and there probably are, different people have different reasons for making their votes. So it's just making the connection somehow so they know who you are and what you're all about.
So there's essentially 10 or so people that are making the decision for who they're going to vote for. Is it region specific or is it global? It sounds like there's 21 different delegates that go, but it sounds like a number of those are give-ins, like in the leadership. And then how many are subject to being voted for and win this their campaign? I'm not clear. With 21 people, how many people are, it's a done deal, they're going, and then
let's see, let me just pull that back up also. This is good. And Robin, I do see your hand up. Just right with you.
I think there are 3 people at each region and then 3 at global. And yeah. And then the candidates will review those names, I think, and confirm. And then you're off and running. You're there.
There was a slide that did have that on there, but yeah. That
I can
is,
also just jump in. I know since I don't know what region you're in, but
I'm
I know.
insane.
So for the Europe, Middle East, and Africa regional convention, that will be solely online. And my guess is we'll do something similar this year, but in 2020, since everything was also online, we had kind of like mixer events prior to the regional convention. That was an opportunity for all the electors to be there, but also all the candidates. So they had a chance to go around, introduce themselves to groups of people and just kind of put their names out there, have people ask them questions, and, you know, let people know who they are and also understand why they're running, why they're interested, things like that. So I would assume, since it'll be an online meeting, that we'll be doing something very similar. And like they said, you'll receive a list. A list will be available to see who all the electors are. That's also a process that we have internally to go through and have everyone, because the electors have to officially opt in to be active in this process. So once that list has been confirmed and finalized, that will be shared with contact information to the candidates. So that way you know who you can reach out to and campaign to.
Okay.
This is Peter speaking, but the number of potential electors in EMEA, for instance, is a very large number because it's all of the country committee officers, the chapter chairs. You know, you could have, 12 from a small country and 20 or 25 from a bigger country who are electors per country, you know, so it's going to be a big list as long as they opt in.
right. Great, thank you, Peter.
Yeah.
Any other questions, Carrie?
For now, no. I'll I guess I'll wait to see the form.
Okay.
Is everybody who's a DA member get an email that the form is now available? I put it in my calendar. I think it's the 26th that the
That's
form
correct.
is going to be
And-
available. So I'll get an email, right?
Right.
And then I can respond to that.
Yes, that's
Okay.
right.
Okay,
And-
then
and-
I think
and-
I'll learn more once I do that process.
Okay, and Carrie, feel free to look at the link of the DSP process, the link that was shared, I believe, here earlier. Feel free to look through that also. If you can scroll up and see, or I can put it here again.
In the chat.
Yes, in the chat. Oh, no, that's not it. Sorry, ignore
I
that.
just shared it.
Okay,
I'll put
thank
it in
you.
there again.
Yeah, great. Yeah, ignore that one. Okay. So let me come to, and then also, Carrie, there's an email, if you have any questions. We're at Diversity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you have any questions, you can write to us as well.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you. Okay,
I'm gonna
Robin.
look at-
All right.
Hi, Robin. I love your name. I have two questions. Have any of you guys, Emily or Robin, or I guess Peter, and have you actually been delegates? And what is your experience like? That's my first question, what it was like. And the second question is, you talked about there's some skills that might be useful. You talked about leadership, negotiating, networking. So I want to hear a little bit more about what are the skills that might be useful.
Yeah, it's funny. I think Marnie was talking about a convention she remembers some time ago.
Yeah, I remember it was in 1984, so most of you probably weren't even around. But yeah, I thought it was fabulous. We nominated a woman for vice president, and it wasn't like as realistic as it seems to be now. So, which is great. So that's progress. But anyway, it's very cool because you get to meet just people from everywhere. There are tons of meetings, and you know, you're learning a lot about how things work, and also about how people, the kinds of issues that people think about and how they're working maybe in their state, and not in their state, but in their, in their state in terms of getting things done, taking their priorities and making them happen, how they got there. And, I think there are also just, I think as I recall at the time, there were some workshops and, like opportunities to meet the candidates. There are a lot of receptions. I saw Robin Williams. I got to stand next to him while he did a little routine in this little room. It was very exciting. And, so there's fun stuff. There's learning opportunities, and then there's the business at hand. It's great. It really is worth it. But you do have to have the ability. You have to have a lot of energy because there's a lot of walking in and out and around, and it's very crowded too. You don't want to have a lot of anxiety about crowds.
And then, thank you, Marnie. And then kind of back to the skills or the opportunity to grow and expand in some of these skills. It's actually right from the application period, because you're writing to sell yourself, right? So it's like right there. Why am I the best candidate? And so, any bashfulness or any of that, it will have to take a back seat, because you really are saying, I'm the best one. I'm out of the 13 here. I am the best one. So that's just that. And then communicating yourself to, again, that's the same thing, but there'll be so much that's happening during that period. You'll get the agenda and you'll want to prioritize, even with the other delegates, where's the best spread of our time and our resources. And then you also, I think one of the things that I think is a great opportunity for Democrats abroad members to be there is the connectivity to the party. So we aren't just seen so far and such a long away from it. We are actually, you get that direct connection to the party machine and so forth. So I think, you go and get that energy and you bring it back to all of us at Democrats Abroad. But that negotiating part is because, again, you're there representing. There'll be people wondering, well, who is Democrats Abroad? Why should you be here? What this, that, and the other? And you'll need to be adequately speaking. Our tax agenda, our reparations, our LGBT, our women, all of that. It's your job to not be there and be a wallflower and just kind of walk around and observe what's happening. You want to edge into any crevices and cracks or rooms you can, and to inform and let people know about Democrats Abroad. Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Robin. Okay. I think it's Peter.
Yeah. I can turn on video too.
Great. Thank you.
Okay, there. Yeah, just a clarification. You encouraged us all to reach out to all Americans who are Democrats, even non-members. But if they want to run for delegate, they must become a member of DA, right? Before running for delegate.
That's correct. Yeah. So go get them. If the first is like an interest, hey, where are you? All right, great. Here's what we need you to do.
Right. Thanks.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. So Candace, that does, I think, answer that question. Okay. Any other questions? I see Steve. Yes, please.
Thank you, Robin. If you're right, I just gonna look up. I've got some information. I think that gives Carrie a little more clarification to her question about where the delegates will be elected. So 9 of the delegates are going to be elected at our regional conventions. So our regions are Europe, Middle East, Africa, the Americas, and Asia Pacific. And while we don't know the numbers of delegate allocations for 2024, I thought giving you an example of 2020 and how that allocation worked out will help you understand how these will be elected regionally. So in 2020, based on the vote turnout, EMEA, Europe, Middle East, and Africa, elected 6 delegates out of that regional convention to attend the virtual Wisconsin convention. And then they also elect regionally 3 DNC members, 1 out of each region. And then at the global convention, globally, the electors elect 3 additional at-large delegates in addition to a party leader delegate and an alternate. So the regional elections will occur March 25th for EMEA, March 26th for Asia Pacific, if I've got that correct. And then March 30th will be the Americas convention, just ahead of our global convention in Costa Rica, like the day before. So hopefully that gives you a little bit clearer understanding of.
Is it March?
Yeah,
Yeah,
March.
not March.
That's 2
It's
days
not
from
March.
now.
It's not
Today's the
March.
23rd of March.
Pardon me?
You said March 25th. And it's not
Oh.
March. Yeah, that's not when.
Well, yeah, March 25th. That's when we announce the allocations. Yes, that is.
Oh, you announced the
That's-
allocations, but that's
Yes,
not.
with the
Yeah.
certified results. So that will then indicate to each region clearly how many delegates they'll be electing. Okay.
Okay, thank you for that, Steve. Let me just see if are there any other questions or any other hands in the queue?
I don't see any.
I don't see any either. Okay, well, we thank you very much for your interest in coming to find out more about the delegate selection process. Sorry, my air conditioner here is ready to quit. And so thank you so very much again for being here. We do hope that all of you will consider, please talk to other people about, why should I run? Maybe that's a great exercise between now and the 26th. Hey, do you think I should run? What do you think? Are you considering running? Like, just start a buzz around about it and just kind of get to tease out why this is a good idea. And you have our full support. So thank you all very much for being here, and have a great morning, afternoon, or evening wherever you are. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Robin.